Another day, another intense situation in the Red Sea, but this time, things took a turn that highlights just how serious the stakes have become. For months, the Houthis have been launching attacks on commercial shipping, creating chaos in one of the world's most critical waterways. The international community, led by the United States and its allies, has responded with defensive measures and targeted strikes to degrade the Houthis' capabilities. However, a recent incident shows a significant and dangerous escalation. The Houthis didn't just target a cargo ship or a destroyer. They reportedly tried to shoot down a U.S. fighter jet. Let's break down what happened. According to reports from U.S. Central Command, Houthi forces launched at least one anti-aircraft missile, seemingly targeting a U.S. aircraft operating in the region. This is a massive leap from their previous tactics. Firing on commercial vessels is one thing, a serious violation of international law. No doubt, but directly engaging a military fighter jet from a global superpower is a whole different ballgame. It's a move that signals a startling level of confidence, or perhaps desperation from the Houthi side. Fortunately, the missile failed to hit its target. The U.S. pilot, thanks to their incredible training and the advanced technology of their aircraft, was unharmed. But let's not downplay the gravity of this moment. The Houthis possess a diverse and increasingly sophisticated arsenal, much of which is supplied by Iran. This includes not just anti-ship ballistic missiles and drones, but also surface-to-air missile systems. While some of these systems are older, they have been modified and upgraded, making them a tangible threat. The fact that they were willing to use one against a U.S. fighter jet shows they are not just posturing. They're actively trying to inflict damage on coalition military assets. The immediate U.S. response was swift and decisive. Following the attempted attack, U.S. Central Command forces identified the missile launchers and other Houthi military equipment that posed an imminent threat. In a series of self-defense strikes, they successfully destroyed these assets on the ground in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. This is the standard procedure in these encounters. If you pose a threat to U.S. forces, you become a legitimate target. The message from the Pentagon is crystal clear. We will protect our people and our assets. We will not hesitate to neutralize threats. This incident marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing conflict. It fundamentally changes the risk calculation for coalition pilots flying missions over the Red Sea and Yemen. They are not just providing air cover or conducting strikes. They are now operating in an environment where they themselves are being actively targeted by surface-to-air threats. This raises the operational tempo and the level of danger for everyone involved. So why would the Houthis take such a huge risk? There are a few potential reasons. First, it's a major propaganda play. Even attempting to shoot down a U.S. jet, successful or not, can be spun as an act of bold defiance for their domestic and regional supporters. It fits their narrative of standing up to Western powers. Second, they might be testing the U.S. response. How far can they push before triggering a much larger, more devastating military reaction? It's a dangerous game of brinkmanship. They're probing for weaknesses and red lines. Third, and perhaps most concerning, they may genuinely believe they have the capability to succeed. Iran has a long history of developing and exporting air defense technology, and it's possible the Houthis feel their upgraded systems are up to the task. This escalation also has broader implications for regional stability. The Red Sea is not a remote body of water. It's a vital artery for global trade. Around 12% of all seaborne trade passes through the Suez Canal and the Red Sea. The continued attacks by the Houthis have already forced major shipping companies to reroute their vessels around Africa, a journey that adds weeks and millions of dollars in costs. This disruption affects supply chains worldwide, contributing to inflation and economic uncertainty. When military aircraft are being targeted, it only adds to the sense of instability and raises the insurance premiums for any and all operations in the area. The international response, primarily through Operation Prosperity Guardian, has been focused on defense. Warships from the US, UK, and other partner nations have been incredibly effective at shooting down incoming Houthi drones and missiles. The destroyers in the area have become the world's busiest air defense platforms, with some vessels intercepting dozens of threats. But as the saying goes, the defense has to be successful every single time. The offense only needs to get lucky once. His latest move by the Houthis to target the very assets protecting the shipping lanes demonstrates their commitment to continuing these attacks regardless of the consequences. The US and its allies are now in a difficult position. The current strategy of defensive patrols and limited retaliatory strikes has, so far, contained the problem, but has not solved it. The Houthis continued to launch attacks. A more aggressive military campaign could risk drawing the US into a prolonged and messy conflict in Yemen. Something Washington is keen to avoid. Could also trigger a wider regional war involving Iran and its other proxies. The balancing act is incredibly delicate. How do you deter the Houthis and restore freedom of navigation without igniting a much larger fire? This attempted shootdown of a US fighter jet is a stark reminder of the complexities of modern warfare. It involves non-state actors armed with state-level weaponry, playing out in a geopolitically sensitive region that is crucial to the global economy. The pilots flying these missions are at the sharp end of this conflict, putting themselves in harm's way to protect international norms and interests. Their skill and bravery, along with the technological superiority of their equipment, are what stand between a tense situation and a catastrophic one. As this situation continues to evolve, we will be watching closely. The next move from either side could have far-reaching consequences. Will the US and its allies be forced to escalate their response? Or will the Houthis, having made their point, pull back from such direct confrontations with military forces? One thing is certain, the Red Sea has become one of the most dangerous and unpredictable flashpoints in the world. And this latest incident has just turned up the heat even more. It was a big mistake by the Houthis, and it's a gamble that could end up costing them dearly. The message sent by the US response was unambiguous. We will not be deterred, and we will defend ourselves. The ball is now back in the Houthis court. Thank you for tuning in and getting the full picture with us. It's a complex world out there, and understanding these events is more important than ever. If you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue to bring you in-depth analysis on critical global events. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.